Well, how time flies, no pun intended. It wasn't all that long ago that I remember thinking about the fact that if we were going to make the millionth Martin guitar, we should plan ahead. And lo and behold, not that many years later, someone said to me, Chris, you know, the 2 millionth Martin guitar is rapidly approaching. Do you want to commemorate it in a similar way that you did the millionth guitar? And I said, absolutely. One of my colleagues, Scott Sasser, said, you know, being in the custom shop and being one of those people that talks to the dealer, talks to the consumer, and then coordinates with the actual custom shop, I have found a lot of our customers not only love fine guitars, they love fine watches. And so he talked to Tim Teal, and Tim said, well, that's interesting because I got a call about a year ago from a fellow in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who has a small but very high quality handmade watch business, and he was wondering if there was some way he could incorporate some of the engine turning that he did on his watches in a custom guitar.
We saw early on that partnering with RGM was a really good symbiotic relationship because they're a family-run business, they're Pennsylvania business. Roland is very dedicated to his craft, just like we are. And you know, we both have passion for our products, and there's a good crossover. So the 2 millionth guitar is basically an exercise in showmanship of process, technique, and doing a very specific theme.
My cousin Robert ran with the theme of watches.
We just didn't know which direction this watch guitar was going to go, but we knew we wanted something that was going to be just the wow factor. There were about 18 sketches that were done. As we got more involved in the project and as I saw the direction that this watch guitar really needed to go, I proudly gathered my sketches, and Tim said, we're going to go down and meet Roland and go down to his studio so that you can see how watches are manufactured. And we're going to bring him these sketches and see what Roland has to say and his team.
So by working with us, we could make sure that the images on the guitar would look proper to someone that knew what they were looking at. So they came here, and it was just kind of that artwork just sort of evolved over time to get something that was aesthetically pleasing, but also technically looked accurate.
And so that's when the game really changed, because now the watch became the basis of how the guitar was going to look. So based on all of the configuration of the wheels and the gears and the position markers, the hands, all of that, we're going to now be translated onto the backs, the top, the side, and the neck of the guitar.
And that kicked off this process that's now been going on for about 1.5 years to make the 2 millionth Martin guitar.
We also partnered up with Waverly Tuning Gears. Between Waverly and RGM, they were able to design a very customized set that included a housing for the watch.
And to save space so that the proportions are right, 2 of the tuner knobs, because of course it is a guitar and you have to be able to play it, 2 of the tuner knobs are incorporated into that case. We've modified it to the main plate of the watch is the shape, sort of that wedge shape like the headstock of a guitar is anyway. And now we're making the tuner knobs, which kind of look like big watch crowns, which is what you would wind on a wristwatch. The knobs are quite interesting. They're made of stainless steel, and then they have solid rose gold inserts into them that have the guilloche turning on it.
Because this is more of a show guitar, we also wanted to offer a more realistic guitar for, the guitar aficionado, for the Martin enthusiast. So we're also going to be launching at the same time the D200. So we want to transfer that theme over to the D200, but we want to make it so that it's a very playable guitar. It sounds beautiful. You'll have the wearable RGM watch to go along with the package. So those folks who are really interested in Martin guitar and also who are watch enthusiasts, this should be a perfect match for them.
There is a connection between people who like fine guitars and fine watches, and we've decided to bring those two together in something pretty special. I had no idea. We had no idea. Honestly, I think when we started this project, we didn't know where we would end up. And someone said to me, Chris, what was the budget? And the budget became what it needed to be to get it done right.
We have very much the same goals. Quality, things that are handmade or hand finished. And we've worked hard together to make the 2 millionth something very special. So we really haven't limited ourselves on this. We want to make it the best it can possibly be.